Hi guys! So today's video is a part of the Creative Arts Collaboration September hashtag event, which is basically a big YouTube virtual arts festival with over 300 artists. The theme for September is fall, and the hashtag is lovefallart, which is your ticket to get into the virtual arts festival. And all you have to do is take the hashtag lovefallart and pop it into the YouTube search bar, and it'll lead you right to all of the artists participating in this month's hashtag. One thing I like to do in the fall is carve and decorate pumpkins, and today I'll show you how to turn your little mini pumpkins into donuts. Today I'm using these faux mini pumpkins. You certainly can use the real mini pumpkins. It's just a little early in my area for the real ones. Plus, an added bonus for using the faux ones is that you can keep them for years to come and keep using them for your fall decorating. And I'm going to take some cream colored white craft paint. You want to try to get a matte textured paint, just because it'll stick to the pumpkin a little better, and the paint that you put over top of it will stick better. And I just go over the entire pumpkin with that cream color. And just remember, if you're using a real pumpkin, you're going to want to wash it and dry it really well before you start painting, just to get any dirt off of it. And it may take 2 or 3 coats of the cream color to cover it, because sometimes the pumpkins have a waxy texture to them that makes the paint separate a little bit. But you just have to be a little patient and put an extra coat on, and the matte paint will definitely help with that too. And then once that's all painted, the cream color, you want to let it dry really well before you go in with the next step. Next, with a small pointed brush and some cadmium yellow, raw sienna, and then eventually some cadmium orange, I'm going to mix together a nice goldeny brown color, and this is going to be our fried portion of the donut. And you want it to be a nice like golden brown delicious color. And I'm going to start painting around the edge of the donut. I'm not going to go quite up to the exact center of it, because I want to leave a nice little white strip of the pumpkin to be white. And this mimics like the fry marks on the donut, because when you flip them over, they don't quite fry completely on the edge, and they have that little white strip along the side. And this will help it to look a little more realistic. I also add a little bit of white to my golden brown color. This will help give it a little bit of opacity so that it doesn't look so streaky. And once I'm done painting, I let it dry completely. And then I flip it over and I do the same step on the other side, still remembering to leave my little strip of white in the middle. A little out of camera angle here. There we go. That's better. And I leave the stem of the pumpkin unpainted because I want it to still resemble a pumpkin. Because I'm using a fake pumpkin, I can speed along my drying process with my heat gun. But just remember, if you're using a real pumpkin, you can't do this because you might end up cooking your pumpkin. Then I decided that the white strip along the edge of the pumpkin was too wide for my liking, so I just go in and add a little more paint to close the gap a little closer. Don't worry if you make a mistake and you make your line a little too small. You can always wipe it off and then add a little cream color to cover it up. And for the frosting, I mixed together modeling paste and heavy gloss medium. I just like the texture the two of them together use. You could certainly just use a modeling paste. And then I add some brown paint to it and mix it in. It ended up being a little light for my liking, so I started to mix other colors in to get it a little more pigmented. And this is where it gets a little weird. So I added a little blue and a little orange because they're opposites, and it got a little too blue. It's okay, because you can just keep mixing colors until you get back to brown. I ended up adding some more brown and some yellow and a little red, and I finally got back to the brown that I wanted. If you end up adding too much paint though, you'll definitely thin out the consistency of the heavy gel medium and the modeling paste, but it was still a good thickness for me when I was finally done with it. And then I take my chocolate frosting mixture and I start outlining along the top edge of how far I want my frosting to go down. And I have butterfingers, but it's okay because we can clean it up and keep on going. And once I've gone all the way around, I start filling it in with globs of the mixture. And you want it to definitely be globby and, you know, definitely be a lot on there because you want it to look like you have this nice thick layer of frosting on top of your donut. And I try to take my brush and smooth it out as much as I can with the brush, because if you've ever looked at like a chocolate glazed donut, they're really smooth on top. So I try to get as smooth with it as I can. And at this point you could leave your donut just as a frosted donut, but since I love me some rainbow jimmies, I absolutely have to put rainbow jimmies on my fake donut. And I have some little sculpey fake sprinkles that I'm going to put on top of my donut. You want to do this while your frosting is still wet so they stick and they stay and they dry into the frosting. And that's it for turning mini pumpkins into donuts. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to check out all the awesome artists participating in Love Fall Art.